Well, hi everyone, this is Dear Mama Sal, and I've had such a fun day today working on, if you can believe, of all things, discipline. That was going to be my word for the day, and I got up this morning promising myself that I would really be aware of my discipline or lack thereof for the whole day, right up until now. Oh, it was a learning experience, that's for sure. First of all, I got up a little later this morning, and it wasn't a lack of discipline, it was just that that was part of my plan. So I was sort of busy checking emails and things, doing stuff like that about 8:30, I think. Not dressed, because that's not my routine. My routine is I make coffee, and then while my brain wakes up, I don't know if any of you relate to this, you know, as my brain wakes up, so I am busy, you know, doing other things. Anyway, while I was doing that, I was really, my one goal, I'm trying to have one major goal for each day as I get myself back on track here. And my major goal today was to go and get the car insurance. So that's, I don't like doing it. And the reason I don't like doing it is because it wastes so much time. You have to sit there while they, you know, process lots of paper and all sorts of stuff. Anyway. Be that as it may, I needed the discipline to go and get it, because if I didn't get it soon, I wouldn't have any car insurance, and I need it by the weekend. So, very proud of myself, got up, got dressed. Always helps if you're going to go out. I got up, got dressed, and ended up walking into the business where I get my auto insurance, and I had a choice. There were two people. One was a very charming young lady, and the other was farther back, but an East Indian guy that sort of almost gave up on me before I even, you know, he was pretty sure I was going to go to the female, and I looked at the female who was being very charming. I said, I've got to go to the other guy. And the reason I said that was because I remembered him from last year, and he'd been so polite and so interested in me as a human being that I was impressed by it. And I was pretty sure it was the same guy. So anyway, I went and sat down, and he said, "Hi, I'm so glad you came." And I went, "Why?" And he said, "Because I remember you." And I went, "Yeah, sure." You know. I didn't quite roll my eyes, but I was close. And he said, No, you're the interesting one. And I said, "What?" And he said, "You're the one that's had a really interesting life, and you do something really interesting. Hang on, let me think. And he went, "You're on YouTube." And I went, "Wow, you do remember me." And I said, "How incredible is that when you think of how many people you must see in the course of a year?" And he said, "Oh, you're pretty memorable." Now, I know some of you would agree, but I saw that definitely was worth making the effort for today, I thought. Well, then I'm going to put in a couple of pictures, because the first bit of discipline that came in was, you're going to see. Yep. And so normally when I sit there waiting for all the papers to get churned over, because I've got to do the car and then I've got to do my trailer, and it's a long process. So normally the way I waste time is to chew on candy, because they got candies there. And I didn't. I was so proud of myself. I gave myself a bonus point for ignoring the candy. How about that? Anyway, from there, I knew I needed a second charging cable for my cell phone. But what I wanted was to try and find a long one, longer than the one I've got. I wanted like a 6-foot one if I could find it. So I popped into a store that has a computer section. And it was really interesting, because you understand, to get to the computer section, you know how many things I have to pass. And all the time I'm going, "You're here to find the cable. You are here to find the cable." And I kept walking, and so I could hear myself going, "Discipline, you are here to find the cable." And I got all the way to the back of the store, which is, of course, where the computer department is, to make sure you have to pass everything. Don't you hate that? You have to pass everything before you can get to them. Okay, so then I stood around waiting. I found the stuff for the iPhone, but I couldn't find any of the cables for the Android stuff. And I waited, and I waited, and I probably waited a good 5, maybe even 10 minutes, and trying to find it for myself, and I couldn't. I also checked out the cost of tablets. Well, it was interesting what price they're down to. You know, and I was trying to use up some time. But eventually I thought, you know something? If they are so understaffed that they can't get to me within, let's say it was 7 minutes, let's call it halfway there, then really, do I need to be giving them my business? And it'll save me some money. So I went to leave. It wasn't quite perfect. It wasn't quite perfect because on the way out of there, I saw a Pyrex pie dish. Now, I've been saying for the longest time that what I want is a good Pyrex pie dish to go in the halogen so I can try making stuff, different sorts of stuff. And there it was. I'd never seen a Pyrex pie dish before. Not saying that you haven't got one, but I'd never seen one. And there it was right in front of me. And I think it was like $6. I mean, how could I ignore that? It had my name on it. So I picked that up. And then I saw the next thing that I've been wanting to buy for the longest time, and that was, yeah, okay, a pasta maker thing, you know, where you can make your own linguine and stuff. I've always wanted to do that, and I know you guys would love to see me do it, so, you know, please make sure you make the comments so I can justify getting it next time. And then I went, no. I was this close. My hand was up and I was ready. And I mean, it was only like $50 or something, you know. And I'm going, discipline. And I walked out with just the pie dish. I went, okay, good job. Then off I went. What I did, and I was very proud of myself, I parked my car halfway between the store where I had to get the car insurance and the dollar store where I knew I was going to end up. So I had to walk from the car all the way over to the insurance place, and then the place where I wanted to get the cable was a couple of stores down from that, so that wasn't a major walk. But then I had to walk all the way back to the car to put the stuff in and then go to the dollar store, which was my next. I just want to see how many steps I've done today. Yay! I've done 7,200, which is about 3 times as much as I was doing over the last couple of weeks. I am actually very proud of myself, and the day's not over yet. Awesome. Anyway, so it worked. What I did worked. I forced myself to have some discipline about that. Anyway, so then I went to the dollar store, and I reckoned, okay, I know what I went in for. I went in to get a couple of things if I could, but amongst them I wanted a silicone sheet that Betty Crocker makes, a red one. And it's really nice for baking on, and I wanted to get an extra one because they're only $1 or $2, and I wanted to cut it so I can use it in my halogen, because it's such a nice, good sheet. Now, I'm sure I can get it somewhere else, and I'm going to somewhere tomorrow, which has another dollar store, so I might be able to pick it up there. Yay. Anyway, but I did spend a little time going up and down the aisles of the dollar store, and you will see and you will see what I got. And actually some of it was quite amazing. I'm going to do a separate little bit of video on that for you. But some of it really was quite amazing, and that is why I wanted to do a separate video, because I wanted to make sure that everything worked before I started saying this was well worth the money. And I'm in the process of doing that at the moment. Then, when I came back from the dollar store, I found out that one of the things that I had bought wasn't what I thought it was. And then the other thing was one of the packages had been pre-opened, which never is a good thing. And sure enough, when I actually opened it up totally, I found out that somebody had taken something out of it, so I needed to get it changed. And I put it aside to go take it tomorrow, and I went, no, it's discipline day. And I packed up my stuff, including receipts and everything, and I got back in the car within about half an hour, and I went back and I exchanged them. So I'm very proud of myself. Very proud indeed. And then, on the way home, some of you who know me well can just see me doing this. I'm driving home and I'm going, it's Tuesday. When I used to go working, on Tuesdays, I popped in on the way back and had poutine. Now, for those of you who don't know what poutine is, it's fries with gravy on top and cheese curds, and it's a very Canadian thing. And it's definitely not health food. Anyway, as I'm driving back, I went, I have done so well today. I am going to go and pop in and have poutine. And it cost me a whole $5.35 to bring it home and enjoy it. And I have just had it and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So that was my fun for the day. So the point that I wanted to do is, it was actually amazing how many times during the day I had to say to myself, remember the discipline. There was, I'm going to put a little bit in here as well. There was a little thing in the dollar store where I had to have a little bit of discipline as well. In fact, there were a number of places in the dollar store, but one that I took a picture of. Because I knew you'd understand. I hope this made you smile. I hope as well that you will take 24 hours and just for 24 hours, see if you can be really aware of your discipline or lack thereof, as in my case. However, maybe like myself, you will surprise yourself at the amount of discipline you actually managed to give yourself, because you know as well as I do, that is a choice we make so many times a day. In any one day, how many times do we have to make that choice? Am I going to be disciplined, or am I going to have an excuse for this? I hope, as I said, that it made you smile and that you enjoyed the video. If you did, give a thumbs up. The other thing is, if you'd like to subscribe, because we do lots of this stuff, go to where the subscribe picture of me is. I never remember. I think it's that side. But, if I think that, it's going to be on that side. Anyway, I think it's on that side. Click on there, and that's the subscribe button. If you like a little bit of wit and wisdom together, this would be the place for you. By the way, I do lots of fun experiments on things like cooking and shopping at the dollar store. As you're going to find out tomorrow. It was great fun. All right, everybody, big hug from me. Okay, everybody, remember to look after one another, but most of all, of course, remember to look after yourself. By the way, just before I left the young man that was dealing with me in the insurance place, I said to him, do you have any advice for my viewers? Is there anything that you really believe that everybody should know that you have learned up until now? And he said, let me think. And he thought a bit, and then he said, don't sweat the small stuff. And I said, I've heard that before, obviously. And I said, and tell me something. How have you learned not to do that? How have you learned not to sweat the small stuff? And, he laughed and he went, I haven't learned it yet. So I gave him a little, piece of my mind and a few suggestions, and he said, thank you so much. And I said, no, it's a pleasure. By the way, I said, when the big stuff, small stuff feels like big stuff, you're going to hopefully remember this moment. This is Dear Mama Sal. Big hugs. See you soon. Bye-bye for now.